Hey, how you doing, YouTube? I'm back in the video, and today I'm going to talk about, are the Los Angeles Lakers underrated? And now, obviously, I'm making this video because of the Kyle Kuzma comments from, I think yesterday, I'm pretty sure, at least yesterday, from 2 days now from when this video is being released, but yesterday from when I'm actually recording it. So, I mean, Kyle Kuzma was asked, what do you think about the team and everything? And he said they think a lot of reporters are underrating them, and they're just underestimating the Lakers in general. And I'm going to be getting into why I agree with him and, what the expectations are for them and everything, and why I think they're underrated and everything. And now don't take this as me just being a Lakers fan that is going to be overhyping them or nothing. I'm not a LeBron or a Lakers fan. Actually, I'm a New Orleans Pelicans fan, and I mean, that's really the only team I like. Besides, I'm just a fan of the NBA in general, pretty much. So there's really no bias going into this video at all. So before you even think that, don't, okay? So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to get all that out of the way. So without further ado, without me running on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to get into for this video is going to be, what are the expectations? So I don't feel like you can say why they're underrated if you don't know what the expectations are. I'm going to be saying if they can exceed these expectations. So a lot of people are saying they're probably going to finish around the 3 to 5th seed in the playoffs, and I mean, probably make it to the second round in the Western Conference Finals at most. So not a lot of people are expecting them to have a deep playoff run, and some people are expecting them to finish 5th and 6th in the playoff rankings, which I don't see happening. I think they could be the 3rd best team in the West right now, so I mean, I don't see him dropping to 6th or 5th, 4th minimum, I think. So, but yeah, those are expectations right now being thrown upon him. Anywhere 3 through 5th and about the second round is where people are limiting them. So I do think that is a very underrated estimation, and I'm getting into that right now. So now I'm getting to why they're actually underrated, because people right now are acting like there's just no chance they can compete with 2 teams, and those 2 teams being the Rockets or the Warriors. Those two are the 2 titans of the league, pretty much, or at least of the Western Conference, the 2 best teams from last year in the Western Conference who battled in the Western Conference Finals. And I mean, it was a battle to the end, but a lot of people are acting like they just cannot beat them. There's no way in hell, it's just not going to happen. But when you look at the Rockets got much worse. I mean, I know they had a Carmelo, but they got much worse with the losses of Ariza and Leba Mute. I mean, just look at what they lost. They lost tons of defense, as Ariza was one of the best 3-and-D veterans in the league. I said veterans, a good role player, probably top 10 role player in the league. I mean, if you can have someone that can score about 15 points a game and play defense and lock up most threes in the league and just have a good veteran leadership, that is going to be huge. But they did end up losing him, which will mean now they literally have no one that can guard LeBron on that team. As right now, I mean, they're starting 3, as there's been reports that Carmelo will be coming off the bench. Say he doesn't. If you have Carmelo at the 3, you have Carmelo Anthony guarding LeBron James. That does not work out for you at all. Carmelo is probably top 10 worst defensive players in the NBA right now. I mean, he just does not play defense. And when you have him on the best, probably one of the best, most dominant players ever to live, that's not a good recipe. So, I mean, they have literally no one to guard LeBron. Lonzo Ball, he's a very good defensive point guard. He's very smart, has very high basketball IQ. And I'm not saying he's better than Chris Paul by any means, but Chris Paul is getting a year older. Eventually, Father Time is going to start taking his toll on him. He's injury prone, Chris Paul is. So, I mean, Lonzo Ball, I'm not saying he's better in any means, but I'm saying he can at least guard Chris Paul. Lonzo Ball is not a slouch on defense at all, and he can definitely guard Chris Paul. And I think that is not an even matchup. I think Chris Paul wins it, obviously, barring any injuries, but I don't think it's as much of a landslide as people would say. But now, James Harden at shooting guard, I can see where the debate's there. I mean, James Harden wins that matchup any day of the week. I mean, he just demolishes them out of that. But like I said, LeBron and Carmelo at the 3. LeBron wins that matchup tremendously. I mean, it's unbelievable how good he wins that. But then Brandon Ingram and PJ Tucker, I'm actually going to give that matchup to Brandon Ingram, because Brandon Ingram is a much more athletic player than PJ Tucker. I mean, he's on the brink of a breakout year. This is Brandon Ingram's year to have a breakout year. As in second half of the season last year, he was averaging 20 points per game. I mean, if he's going to have a breakout year, this is it. He has to break out this year, and I think he's going to be able to do that. But now, I mean, and then Clint Capella on JaVale McGee. Obviously, Clint Capella wins, but Clint Capella is not much of a scoring threat, and I'm sure they're not going to be scoring much through JaVale McGee anyway. So that's kind of just be a stalemate of a matchup. Not much is going to be happening there. They're going to be pretty much there purely for defense. So, I mean, I don't think that matchup is going to matter all that much. I think Clint Capella wins it, but I don't think it's going to be a game-changing matchup in the game. But then you go to the Warriors. Now, you can kind of stretch it. I mean, obviously, Steph Curry is better than Chris Paul, in my opinion. Like I said, though, Lonzo Ball is very high IQ. He can at least kind of slow down Curry, not beat him by any means. Curry still probably have a couple 20, 30-point games on him, but I mean, he can at least play defense. Klay Thompson against who? KCP, I guess. Yeah, that's a mismatch pretty bad. Then LeBron on Kevin Durant. I mean, that's about as even a matchup you can get. Like, when you're guarding LeBron. Draymond on Brandon Ingram. That would be an interesting matchup to see, since Draymond isn't much of a scorer, and I'd just like to see how he does. But then, I mean, JaVale McGee on who? No, DeMarcus Cousins. I forgot they got DeMarcus Cousins. I mean, obviously, DeMarcus Cousins win that. So, I mean, that's where it gets iffy. But to say they don't stand a chance to face a team like Houston, I think that's a stretch. I think they can definitely beat Houston and become a top 2, top 3 team in the Western Conference. I think they're already the 3rd best in the Western Conference. I mean, if they end up being top 2, I would not be surprised at all. But then another thing is, like, also people think they aren't going to be a top 3 team. Like, there's people that think teams like Utah, the Thunder, and the Jazz, and Portland, I meant to say, are going to be better than them. I mean, that's just being arrogant. I mean, both the Warriors and the Rockets, you can make arguments. Like, Warriors are better than them, and you can make an argument for the Rockets being better than them. But to say the Thunder are better, or the Utah is better, or Portland's better than them, that is just outrageous to me. Like, I'm a Pelicans fan, and as much as I want to say the Pelicans are better than them, they're not. I mean, look, the Lakers have good veterans. They have the best player in the league, very good young talent. I mean, you just can't say they're not a top 3 team in the West and just completely disrespect them like that. I mean, you can't. I'm not even a fan of the team, and I'm kind of getting mad because, I mean, that's just completely disrespecting LeBron and the Lakers. I mean, the Lakers have a very good team on their hands, and you can't disrespect that. They're a top 3 team in the West, whether you like it or not. I mean, and then my last reason is going to be their depth. A lot of teams sleep on their depth. Depth is a huge part of winning games, and like being able to rely on your bench to help win games will be very, very huge. I mean, look at it. They at backup point guard, they have Rajon Rondo, and he'll be playing playoff Rondo off the bench, which will be unbelievable. And also, I mean, he'll be a good veteran. He knows how to play. He knows how to work in that point guard position, and him coming off the bench is going to be extremely, extremely solid for them. But then you have shooting guard Josh Hart, who was Summer League MVP. Now, Summer League, obviously, you can't look too far into it, but being the best in the Summer League, it's pretty good. He had a very good Summer League. I mean, you never know how good he could end up being. And they also have rookie Isaac Bonga at that backup shooting guard position, so I would like to see how that works out too. And then at backup small forward, they have Lance Stevenson, I mean, to back up LeBron, and I think he'll be a great hustler, a great glue guy, like a great person to keep that bench together and really hustle with them. And I think he's going to be able to get in other teams' heads a little bit. He's just a very good player to have off your bench. And obviously Kyle Kuzma, an unbelievably talented power forward. It was a rookie last year, should have been a rookie of the year contention in any other year. Literally, like, I think any other year he probably should have got like recognition. Most years he probably would have won Rookie of the Year. Obviously last year rookie class was stacked, but mostly any other year Kyle Kuzma would have won Rookie of the Year. And then you also added Michael Beasley, so he's gonna be a good veteran. He's gonna be able to get you about 8 to 10 points a game off the bench, which would be very nice. So their bench is going to be able to pretty much be a starting lineup for them. I mean, I like their starters, but say someone gets injured, it's not like they're going to be really struggling to find anyone else. Brandon Ingram gets injured, Kyle Kuzma comes in. Lonzo gets injured, Rajon Rondo comes in. I mean, it's going to be very nice. And God forbid LeBron gets hurt, Lance Stevenson comes in. Now, Lance Stevenson is nowhere near LeBron, but I mean, he's still a usable starting small forward in the league. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I really just think they're extremely, extremely underrated, and I do agree with Kyle Kuzma. I think they're very underrated. Do I think they can make the finals? Probably not. I don't, but I think they could beat the Rockets and shock them in a 7-game series for sure. But I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. Do you think they're underrated? Do you think they could beat the Houston Rockets? Do you think they could beat the Warriors? Do you think they could go to the finals? What do you think their limit is? I want to hear all your thoughts and opinions below. And if you did like the video at any point, the like button and subscribe button would literally mean the world to me. And like I say this every video, I say it so much, but thank you guys. We're at like 18 subs away from 500. We hit 300 subs a week ago. We're like 18 subs from 500. That's almost 200 subs in a week. Thank y'all so much. I just want to freaking kiss y'all and suck your toe. What? I didn't say that. But yeah, just thank y'all so much. And like I say, I hope you have a blessed day, because I have a blessed day. So y'all need to have a blessed day. See you tomorrow's video. Goodbye. Boo.